Hey guys, welcome back to those of you who are returning. And for those of you who are joining for the first time, welcome in. My name is Ben, and you have entered the vibrational shift. Now, before I start today's Reiki session, I just want to thank you guys for the love and support, the comments, and the feedback that you've been providing. It really makes a difference. And I just am so grateful that I'm able to do my work and help people to heal. So thank you again. I really, really, really appreciate your presence and all of your love. So today is going to be a Reiki session focused on addiction. I am no stranger to addiction. I am currently in my 8th year of recovery from addiction, and it is a hell of a journey, but one that I am grateful to be on. And I find that life is much better on this side than where I was living before. So, addiction is it's a very serious topic for me. Like I said, I myself am in recovery. I lost a brother due to addiction to substances, and my father was addicted to substances his entire life. And this is Maui. Um, it's a subject that's very close to my heart, and it's important that I get out into the world and share my story and help others to know that they're not alone in their addiction, and to let others know that recovery is possible and that we do heal, even though it may at times seem like we don't have that capacity, the mental capacity to heal. We definitely do. um, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and call in the energy for Reiki. Um, if you guys have any, energies that you'd like to call in, ancestors, loved ones, guides, gods, goddesses, you know the drill. Now's the time to do so. Okay. I just want to throw it out there. I was hearing the name Emily before I started recording, so perhaps there is an Emily in the collective here that is going through it right now. Um, just know that we're here for you. You have a whole family of support here in this community that we're building, and that goes for all of you. So just know that you're not alone. Let's go ahead and take a few deep breaths. I'm going to have you take 3 deep breaths in through your nose, and then you're going to hold it, and then you're going to let it out through your mouth. So we're going to do 4 seconds in, 4 seconds on the hold, and then 4 seconds out. Okay, and this is just going to have your body signal to your brain that it's time to relax and take in some Reiki energy. Okay, so let's go ahead, like I said, in through the nose for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then hold it for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then out for 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, let's do that 2 more times. In through the nose for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, one more time. In through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then let it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now that you're settled in, I'm going to go ahead and get started on the session here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap into your crown chakra first and bring the energy into your crown so that it starts flowing down through your body. You can imagine a white light over the top of your head, bringing the energy down in through your crown. You may feel some tingles there. So when it comes to addiction, you know, a lot of times the reason we go for the things we're addicted to, whether it's a substance or a food or a person or sex or, you know, reading even, I mean, our addictions can be literally to anything that helps us to escape, that helps us to escape the thoughts in our minds. Sometimes we need to sit with our thoughts, because when we allow ourselves to sit with those thoughts, they can then turn into feelings. And a lot of times we're trying to escape those feelings as well, because sometimes it hurts to feel. I know that I went a long time not wanting to feel, and so I would hide behind substances, so that I didn't have to go through really what I have to go through as a human. But what I've learned in recovery is all that stuff you're escaping, it's just waiting for you. And every time I would try to say, you know, quit, every time I would try to quit a substance, withdrawal would hit, and all of these emotions and feelings would start coming into my body. And I really didn't know what to do with them. And so I would just go back to the substances. And then the feelings and thoughts would be gone. And then I wouldn't have to deal with them until I started to come down again. So when we allow ourselves to feel those emotions, they don't get stuck in our bodies. And whether we realize it or not, when we don't deal with these emotions, they truly can manifest into physical ailments. And one thing I really love about Reiki is when the energy starts shifting inside of you from the Reiki, you don't necessarily have to face the things that you've been holding in. The energy just has a way of moving out of your body and clearing those blockages up, so you don't have to face that trauma again, or face the emotions, or face that event that you went through that caused these emotions. I feel very heavy in the heart right now. My hands just gravitated over to the heart chakra here. And, you know, it speaks to the pain of an addict and the pain that an addict feels when they slip and relapse. But you know what? If you're relapsing, that means you're trying to quit whatever the addiction is. So make sure that you give yourself credit for that, because a lot of people don't even get to that point. So don't be hard on yourself in those moments where your strength is being tested. And maybe you're not quite as strong as you thought you were, or at least in that moment. That doesn't mean you're not as strong as you really believe you are, but we do have those moments, and that's okay. And what I can tell you about Reiki is it's not going to magically overnight make you break your addictions, okay? That's not what's going to happen here. But what Reiki can do is it can shift your energy and then raise your awareness. So you'll learn to recognize the triggers a little bit more easily. And you can then work to negate the effect of those triggers. So maybe next time you're triggered by something, instead of that immediate response of, oh, let me go roll up a joint or let me go grab a donut, maybe the response is a few deep breaths instead. For those of you who are new here, this is Gaia. Gaia loves Reiki, and she loves to lend her energy to the healing process. So hopefully you can feel her beautiful energy too. So I want to talk a little bit about how you can use this Reiki video to help you overcome your addiction. Next time you're feeling like you're going to break down and you're going to go to the store and buy that alcohol or roll up that joint or pick up that pipe, come back to this video and just sit with it for the 20 minutes or so and let it shift your energy in that moment. And maybe, just maybe, you won't go in that store, or you won't roll that joint. Or instead of that Twix bar, maybe you'll grab a fruit bar. So one thing I learned in my recovery is the importance of connection. And a lot of people who are in active addiction are really just looking for connection, whether they realize it or not. And when I first had this realization, I thought that I was looking for connection with other people. And partially I was, but what I was looking for was a connection to source, a connection to something higher than me. That place I always knew that we came from, but wasn't sure what it is or who it is, or I still don't know who or what it is, but I at least feel that connection now. And Reiki has had a lot to do with it because it has opened my chakras, which are the connection to our divine source. And, it's not easy work when we start doing energy work, because the energy will just shift us and move us and nudge us in a certain direction. And it will, like I said earlier, raise our awareness. So that's part of the work. And then the rest of the work is up to us. We have to act upon these things that are being brought to us. So in talking about connection, one of the hardest substances for me personally to quit has been marijuana, weed, which I never thought was addicting until I tried to quit. And then I realized that it is in fact quite addicting. And so I was in the park one day, and I was talking to the universe, I was talking to Mother Nature, and I asked to be shown why I can't have weed in my life on a regular basis. And I was drawn to a tree who communicated to me that I needed to find a yoga album to put on. And so I put this yoga album on, and my body was just moving with the music, going into all these poses that I had never seen before. And the album was called, I believe it's like Yoga to Gather Energy. And so the energy inside of me was building up in my chakras. I mean, it was starting at my root and going all the way up until it got to my crown. And I felt like my head was going to explode. It got so intense that I fell to my knees in front of this tree. And then all of a sudden, it was like the tree was laughing at me and showed me that if I hadn't have been stoned in that moment or high in that moment, then my crown chakra would have been open and that energy wouldn't have been stuck. And so that then gave me the understanding that, for me anyways, what marijuana was doing was blocking that connection to source and blocking the connection to my higher power. So, as we move away from our addictions, we'll notice that our energy starts opening up more and we start to feel more connected. And as we get connected to source, we do get connected to people in this world as well. Oh, and by the way, the hoodie, I got this a few years back, honestly, just to be silly, but it is an important message. I think that children are misled a lot of times into thinking that let's just say drugs, right? Like, drugs are cool. Drugs can alter your mind. They can make you feel this. They can make you see that. They can make you do this and that. And that's appealing to children. So I think it's very important that we educate the children of tomorrow and share our stories, be open and willing to share our stories. I look at like my nieces and my nephews, and there's nothing I won't do to keep them from going down the path of addiction. I will do everything in my power to guide them, and they will know as much details as they want to know and need to know about what I went through in the deepest points of my addiction. And the more we educate them, the better the future will be for everyone. So I'm drawn to the throat chakra right now, and I think it's just very important that you don't be afraid to speak up when you need help. And if you see somebody else that needs help, don't be afraid to speak to them and offer them a little love and some words of encouragement and kindness. You guys, I tell you, when you start opening that crown chakra and it works down into your third eye, your spiritual gifts are going to start opening up, and you're going to be like, what the hell why was I blocking it with, this substance or this action or this food or this coffee? So as I come into the solar plexus and the sacral, the energy is very, very, very powerful here. So whew, one thing that I became aware of in my recovery is one of the reasons why I would turn to substances. Okay. So I have not always been the most confident person. Um, I did not know my worth for a very long time, and I let others tell me what my worth was and what I was and was not worthy of. And a lot of that translated into unwanted sexual encounters, or at least I thought I wanted them, but I, it was a way to feel validated, it was a way to feel worthy, and it was a way to feel valued. And so what I started to notice was I would convince myself that so I knew what my end goal was. Okay. So part of me would want to go and do something that I wouldn't normally do, say, go hook up with a random person. But in order to get there, I had to go through a few steps. First, I would have to maybe smoke a little bit of weed, which would bring my inhibitions down a little bit. And then once they were down a little bit, I would convince myself that maybe I should go have a drink because that'll bring my inhibitions down even more. And after, a couple shots or whatever, sure enough, I'd be on my phone looking for somebody to hook up with. And then afterwards, I would feel bad about it because it wasn't actually what I wanted. And I really was just looking for that validation and some sort of connection too. But I mean, that's not really connecting. So for those of you who use substances or have used substances in the past to bring your inhibitions down and do the things that you don't necessarily want to do, take this energy and breathe into your sacral chakra and know that that energy, that sacral energy, that's so precious and so valuable and so important. And we don't need to just give that up to everybody. It is our source of creation, our center of creativity and how we create. I mean, of course, it makes sense with, the sacral chakra just below the navel is associated with your sexual energy as well. And that is how we create on this world. How we create a new human is through our sexual energy. But we can also create other things in this world when we focus on that center and we don't designate it to just the sexual energy that hides out there. A lot of times addictions start when we're young. I mean, before we could even have any conceptual idea of what addiction is. I mean, we start eating sugar, so many of us at a very young age, and sugar is a substance. Sugar is a drug. Sugar does cause addiction. And it can be tough after a whole lifetime of consuming something that's perfectly acceptable by the world and then to try to rid yourself of it. So maybe go back to your roots, go back to your childhood. What is it? Is it comfort? Does it make you feel safe? Maybe because that's something that you've been taking into your body since you were a little kid, since you were with your parents? Or does it go back even further? Is it from the womb? Was it even not even yours to start with, and it was just passed on to you? This is a safe space for you to come and heal. You can feel secure here, and you can feel supported here. Now that I've started putting myself out here, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep putting this energy out, and I'm going to help people. So I will be here. And guys, jump in the comments if you want. Share your stories with others, and let people know that they're not alone. Maybe some of you are here because you've lost loved ones to addiction. Just know, a lot of times addicts don't understand the hurt that they're causing other people. They don't even realize the hurt that they're causing themselves. So find a place in your heart for forgiveness. Forgive yourself too. If you've lost someone and you are holding on to guilt because you think you could have helped them, it was part of their destiny. And, I learned that with my brother. It was very, very, very hard to lose my brother, and I held a lot of guilt and a lot of shame. But he came to me on a spiritual journey, and he told me that sometimes people have to go so they can do their work. They can't do their work as a human. And he also showed me that it was going to happen no matter what. So don't allow yourself to feel guilty. If you've lost a loved one to addiction, it is not your fault. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close this out. I'm going to seal the energy up. Okay. Thank you all so much. This has been a very intimate session. I feel like I'm like up in the clouds right now. I really feel very connected to so many of you. And I want to thank you for being present here and for allowing me to help you heal. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.